You don't need to be Scrooge McDuck to enjoy good music. WiiM has had a value-rich product lineup since the beginning. They've created this ecosystem of affordable audio that doesn't suck. The WiiM Ultra is sort of a culmination of their hard work the past couple of years. That experience has birthed this legend of a streamer. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Audio Arkitekts, my friends. I'm Mike, and if you like strolling through Circuit City or Good Guys looking for good deals, then you're in the right place because that's all we talk about here. Before we get all fat and sassy on the WiiM Ultra, make sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel because that's just what needs to be done before you enjoy the video any further. Today, I'll be guiding you through the WiiM Ultra. Oh my God, I just realized I didn't take off the plastic. The WiiM Ultra. So after you finish the video and it's all said and done, you'll know in your heart whether you really need this streamer or if it's just a hard pass. The unboxing process was in traditional WiiM fashion, always reminiscent of the older Apple-esque unboxing days. Nothing too ceremonious, but thoughtful nevertheless. I don't like it when manufacturers leave a lot to be desired when opening their products. I don't care if I don't use the stuff you put in the box. It's the principle behind the gesture. I have my own RCA cables and power cables, but the next guy might not. The next guy might not know what's needed to get up and running. So thank you, WiiM, for including everything in the box to get this set up and running. Except for AAA batteries. Where the hell are my AAA batteries? Setup was easy peasy lemon squeezy. From the second you fire up the unit, you need to download the WiiM app on either Apple or Android. You pick your poison. Then connect to your home Wi-Fi. Download any and all updates, which was the second longest part of the process, and connect your WiiM voice remote. I think all in it was like maybe 10 minutes. Now, where most of my time went, aside from updating the unit, was connecting the remote. I couldn't for the life of me figure it out until I did. So take it from a guy who never reads instructions because men don't read instructions. You need to connect to the remote from the Bluetooth on your phone, then pair it with the unit. I know, it's odd, but knowing this will save you some time and frustration. You're welcome in advance. First thing that I liked about this unit is that it has a 3.5-inch display. Yeah, I get it. It's not that big size-wise, and it's not cutting-edge tech, but it's a new feature for WiiM, and I'm happy that as the company evolves, so do their product offerings. There's forward-thinking improvements with each generation of this streamer. And at the $329 price point, which is where it's at late September, early October 2024, it's already showing more value than other usual suspects within the same price point, and I hadn't even listened to it yet. The outside is a predictable design. It's WiiM's stylistic way of staying consistent and recognizable. I like the smooth, rounded corners, and the space gray is nice, very nice. The aesthetics of the packaging in the unit give a bit of a nod to the Mac Mini, which I think is fine because it's not a replica. It just has that Mac Mini vibe. They found a design that works for them and it looks good, so good for them. We live in a world where one device controls our lives. I mean, WiiM seemed to think so. Instead of having to sit in front of the device and play with the controls on the touchscreen or use the provided remote that took forever to set up, you can instead use the WiiM Home app and have access to anything and everything this device can do. Well, as long as you have an Apple iPhone, and we'll get back to that. On the app, you can download detailed audio settings, parametric EQ, room correction, source selection, volume, everything. It's rare to find these types of features at only $329. One can argue that these features will, of course, be designed to meet a more accessible price point, but the fact that WiiM felt it prudent to even include them shows an interest beyond what's expected at this price range. WiiM has built this to be a streamer, DAC, and preamp, which solves a lot of problems if you're looking for an all-in-one solution. It's a perfect hub. I think using it as a preamp isn't a bad idea if you don't already have a preamp. I think that's the unique advantage WiiM had intended for this unit. There are too many cheap lo-fi DACs and preamps from dozens of companies that don't really check all the boxes like the Ultra. WiiM literally entered that sub 500 market and said, "Look at me, we are the captain now," and never looked back. I guess that's just the way I see it. For those of you who live in the 21st century and finally got rid of your old tube TVs, you can hook up your fresh new flat screen using the HDMI ARC input on the back of the unit. This allows you to control the volume using your TV's remote instead of the WiiM remote, and you can then send off a 5.1 down mix to the amp of your choice. You can always use the optical input with your TV, but why not have that extra input for something else like a CD transport? The WiiM features an ES9038 Q2M Sabre DAC chip, which produces 32-bit 384 kHz PCM, but it's the overall analog output stage that will more than likely influence the overall sound quality. If you own an iPhone, which I do, you can utilize the unit's room calibration feature by moving your iOS device around your listening area while the Ultra plays a frequency sweep through the speakers. This allows the WiiM Home app to study the room's acoustic characteristics and address room modes to minimize the negative effects of low-frequency standing waves. Why can't you do it with an Android? Well, because there are too many Androids on the market. Come on. The variations in microphones from all the different manufacturers, Samsung, LG, this, that, the other thing, makes it difficult to maintain consistent performance across all devices. WiiM didn't overload the back panel with inputs and outputs. They kept it clean and to the point. They provided enough options here to run a proper sound system. Especially important, the subwoofer output. Every device like this needs that option. Last, and definitely least, the phono input. I try to act like I'm cultured and I own a turntable, but I know in my heart I'm just a dirty CD lover. I personally love a buttery smooth knob.
Hello, Pat.
Volume knob, you freaks. I felt that the WiiM's knob left me wanting more. I mean, it's okay. It's just not buttery. I want buttery.
It's very smooth.
I think the little screen is nice. I like that I could see the clock from anywhere in the room. The VU meter is very cool. I just really love VU meters, if you couldn't tell. The screen is reasonably responsive and the UI is simple, easy to use. I think that was the goal. One thing I noticed with the functionality is the time it takes to switch songs on CoolBuzz. It's kind of annoying. It takes a bit longer than it should. I am not a big fan of the delay. Now, when I used Rune, I didn't have this problem. Using CoolBuzz through Rune, smooth. Perhaps this is something I can dig a little deeper and figure out if it's a settings issue or if in fact this is just the way things are. I did notice AirPlay was missing. However, this isn't a big deal since there is Bluetooth, and we all know Bluetooth and AirPlay consistently fight over who has the worst sound quality. Overall, I didn't have any crazy obstacles or major inconveniences. It did what it said it would do, and it did it well. My signal chain is straightforward. TAC VRDS 701 directly to the WiiM, WiiM to my custom amp, amp to the Totem Bison monitor speakers. That's how I'm testing it. Simple and clean. I mainly used Rune, CoolBuzz, and the TAC CD player to test the sound quality. I didn't realize how addicting doom scrolling through music can be on streaming. Oh my God, I really do enjoy it. I end up finding new music and rediscovering old music I had long forgotten about. Don't tell my CD friends though. They'll get jealous. They'll think I was cheating. With a device like this, there are a few factors that affect the sound quality. Some more than others, and that's the DAC, output stage, power supply, and clock. If all of these were designed and implemented well, then it leads to the inevitable results that we got. The most notable characteristic, I think, was just how fun, open, and dynamic the music was. It just had this addictive spaciousness to the sound. The bass had punch, and the mids and highs were super smooth. It really brought out what I felt was missing from the Totems. I've always sung praises about WiiM products, but This just took it, I think, a step further. The sound was just seriously fantastic. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to differentiate products in the sub 500 category. However, with every WiiM product I've tested, I've always been able to recognize the existence of an abnormally good presentation and sound quality. Now, will this sound better or worse than products $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 above its price point? Well, at that point, the lines begin to blur because sonically, I think it might be just as good, if not maybe better than some of those, Blue Sound, Cambridge stuff. I think that at that point, what causes that rift in price would be more features and better build quality. That's usually it. The Ultra is using the same processor and DAC that many other units use way beyond $329. So where's the rest of the money going? Build, features, prestige. It's common marketing, really. There's a huge bias when purchasing a more expensive product, and we know it. Our minds tend to convince us that it's going to perform or sound better just because it's more expensive. I've done videos about this topic. It's crazy how the mind works, but it's not crazy how the wallet works. And as consumers, we should really rally behind value over hype. I think that WiiM's products have had success because they generally tend to appeal to a larger audience. The majority of people want convenience and performance at a reasonable price, and WiiM streamers have provided that at a fraction of a reasonable price. I started this video by saying you don't have to be Scrooge McDuck to enjoy good music, and the WiiM proves that point. Sure, there are plenty of people who will always want to own the biggest and the best and most expensive because they think in their little pea brains that it translates into the best. You don't have to mortgage your home to have a proper hi-fi experience. You can enjoy high quality sound for $329. Now, don't expect to pay $329 for the next thing and get these unicorn results. This is rare, guys. To be honest, I'm surprised there hasn't been a feeding frenzy over this device because I know the general consensus has been positive.
There was a firefight!
I love a good feeding frenzy when people are excited to buy something because it's truly great, not just hype and marketing fluff. It's awesome to see a company succeed when they genuinely deserve it. This streamer is perfect for anyone needing an all-in-one solution to act as the centerpiece of your system, or for someone just needing a proper music streamer. I think you can be from various levels within this hobby and appreciate this product. The price is more than reasonable for the results you get, so the value is definitely there. Normally, I'd suggest things to specific market segments, but honestly, I think this has widespread potential. Thank you all for joining me today. I am always happy to have the opportunity to try new products like these that truly perform outside their expectations. If you'd like to support the channel and my efforts, I have an online t-shirt shop where you can purchase these super cool VU meter shirts. I also have a Patreon you can join where I post after filming commentary and other fun stuff. Or if you just want to say thanks, you can totally buy me a coffee with the link down below. If you enjoyed the video, sing with the like button.
Hot damn! This is something about a boy!
Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to get notified every time a new video is born. With all that said and done, I'll see you on the next one, friends. Take care. That blows my mind that something that good can be $329, but other companies can't do the same. Like, they're using the same internals as other companies. The outside is nice. It's not cheap. It's not. So what's going on? Why can't more companies charge less for their products?